starting at verse 1, and it reads, "And he said unto me, Son of man, stand upon thy feet, and I will speak unto thee. And the Spirit entered into me when he spake unto me, and set me upon my feet, and I heard him that spake unto me. And he said unto me, Son of man, I send thee to the children of Israel, to a rebellious nation that hath rebelled against me. They and their fathers have transgressed against me even unto this very day." So just like in the ancient times, how Israel was rebellious and pretty much didn't hearken unto the Lord, a nation that was given favor of the ultimate power, the only true living power, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Yahweh being He is or exists, Ba'ashem meaning in the name, Yahushua meaning He saves or He's the deliverer. The only nation given access to the heavenly power. Scriptures talk about Yasharallah, He Prince Power. He's a prince of the power. The scriptures talk about all the gods of the nations are idols, because, there's no true living power except for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. For they are impudent children and stiff-hearted. I do send thee unto them, and thou shalt say unto them, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, power, and they, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are a rebellious house, yet shall know that there have been a prophet among them. Because when these things that we speak begin to pass, and it's no way you can deny these things when they're pretty much, manifest, when they're completely evident, like 2nd Ezra chapter 9 says, to subtly appear to be seen, to be made known, you can only say that there's been a prophet among you. Scriptures talk about how, I think in Jeremiah, how the Most High was going to make, I believe it's Jeremiah, it's either Jeremiah or it's Ezekiel, but he said he's going to make our foreheads hard against, the 2/3 of the nation that's rebellious and don't want to get with this truth. So I want to start off by giving all praises, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachakadosh B'Tham. I'm going to say double honors to my apostles, the elders of the great millstone, who do teach and rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Akwat that they're listening and learning, Lord willingly. This is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but subscribing to the truth. To you, I say shalom. This is the brother Yawasop. I'm coming to you with another lesson through the Spirit and through the power of Yahweh Shemi Shot. And I was trying to find something to do a lesson on, but spiritually, I was thinking about a few things I've done videos as of lately on, because I've been calling them spiritual testimonies. When I see something through the Spirit, and I just speak on it. And lately I was talking about how pretty much started this job, and these Edomites lied to us, and it was me and a couple Northern Kingdom. I gave the one Northern Kingdom, his name was Jose. I gave him, GMS Spanish channel, and I even gave him, a lot of the milk scriptures, not scriptures, but the videos. I gave him the playlist of the videos. And then he pretty much told me how he lost it, some kind of way he deleted it. Now, I've been in the truth long enough, contrary to what people believe, they think we bugged out. We know we be dealing with spirits. I've seen a lot of shit, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Can't say I'm on no level with the elder apostle to heart, but I've known, since I was a youngin', the odd things I used to see then and couldn't really explain have more of an explanation now since I've come into this truth. So I know sometimes, especially when you come into the truth, it talks about how when you depart of evil, you make yourself a prey. So you'll pray not only to these spirits, to the world, because most of these people got spirits on them anyway. They don't have a righteous spirit. They don't have the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. But, you make yourself a prey to them demons, them spirits, And I'm thinking that's why I gave him the information again. It's not mine to hoard from him, even if, I'm thinking he a nigga, or what. I just was looking at the spiritual aspect of it because it was Northern Kingdom. These devils lied to both of us. But, saying all that to say this, I gave him the playlist again. Now he told me beforehand, he was like, he probably won't be at the last of the job. He's one of them jakes that know how to, like the elder Apostle Tahar said, using wisdom and using not guile, but yeah, I believe it's the guile, you know what I mean? Getting one up over the adversary, or normally the adversary, like Paul said, I caught you with guile, somewhat trickery or game, and pretty much, he was the type that was smiling in the Edomite's face, but he telling me everything, how he feel and think and all that. So I sent him the playlist again, because it's not for me to say who is going to receive salvation and who's not. I might get judged for trying to call myself, being in the spirit feeling. Now, don't get me wrong. So the spirit of the Lord can't be on an individual to do certain things. But you got to understand what's the spirit of the Lord, and when that's a person's own feelings. I'm noticing certain things that the elders say and that certain brothers say or do. You know what I mean? So, the thing is, what's the scariest part about that is you got to understand. You got to actually understand that the scriptures talk about, the spirit leading the way. Turn to the left. Turn to the right. You're going to have to be really in tune with the spirit. And if you're not, if it's a lot of like carnal, fleshly things, you might lead people into a ditch. Scriptures talk about the blind leading the blind, I mean, I'm not, and this is not pointed or at nobody. It's just, you got to, like I said again, understand the times we're coming in. And like I said, the thing is, this thing is deadly serious. You know what I mean? I've been making a statement as of lately, and then it was spiritual because the elder Apostle Tahar made the same statement about how, in this thing of yours, your lot, you got to be perfect with this thing. And I'm not saying you're not going to make mistakes, but what I'm saying is, yes, we're doing a righteous thing right now. But if you're not all the way righteous and perfect with everything, you know what I mean? How you treat brothers, doing the work, doing the will, you know what I mean? How the elders always just bring out about how, you a super Hebrew on the camera, but you a nigga in the world once you off camera, you know what I mean? A multitude of things, because at the end of the day, the angels, the Allahayim is always watching. And it just made me think about, like I said, this individual, because I was hoping Jake was going to get it. I've been in Cleveland. Well, I'm no longer part of Cleveland, but like I said, through the spirit, I feel, I know GMS got the truth, you know what I mean? Like, I don't see them men being men that's going, the integrity is more than just, what the world can give you. And just like myself, I believe the elders, I like to believe that I'm in the same mindset as the elders. I don't think they would take any money. Or if they would, I forgot who said it, was like, yeah, I'll take the money, but I ain't gonna do shit. Well, you know what I mean? You gonna want to kill me. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. But my point being, and this thing moving fast too, because now, like I said, you got Trump talking about Elon Musk about to be a part of his, his cabinet. You know what I mean? Like, anything can happen. And you know what I mean? It's just like, literally, like, you really need to be on a spiritual swivel. But saying all that to say this, I've been I was in the Cleveland camp for a number of years, and I ain't gonna go into detail why. I'm gonna say this: ultimately, is the will of the Lord. I don't know for good or for ill, but nonetheless, it was for the will of the Lord. And I'm gonna say this also: it wasn't necessarily anything anybody else did. I did what I did so I don't lose, my agape. So I don't, so I can keep my salvation. You get what I'm saying? And I know individuals won't understand that without, a better explanation, but I don't have to explain to nobody. You know what I mean? I've seen somebody individually do that. Like, at the end of the day, as men, I don't have to explain nothing to you. Just like, as a man, I should be able to deal with everything I'm dealing with. That's what make the brotherhood a beautiful, I've experienced both. I've been homeless, and the only thing I could rely on was this dirty bitch, my demon, because to show you how cold the Lord is, she used to always, and I'm going to probably make this a various topic because so much stuff going through my spirit. Showing you the rebellious nature of Israel as well. Like, she stuck with me throughout all the homelessness and all that. But I started seeing the jealousy when I was coming to the truth, going around the brothers. She used to get jealous, and I'm like, damn, there's a jealous spirit on her. And she used to always make this statement about women are like seasons. I'm like, what is this retarded bitch talking about? You know what I mean? What is the crazy bitch talking about? But I didn't get it until like recently, because women are subject to change. You know, like you got that, and it cut me so deep because the Lord actually prepared my steps a certain kind of way. You get what I'm saying? You know, the things I'm bitching about and crying about and having a headache about now, he literally made my path where I didn't have to deal with certain things. But because, you know, I chose to do certain shit and he knew. But I always say this, I don't think I'd have been very productive in the truth if the Lord wouldn't have allowed me to do this. And maybe he knew that too. He know my spirit. So, you know, like with all these distractions, I literally been able to always keep up with my lessons and the studies and all that, my responsibilities as the position I had in the camp and all that. Sometimes I believe brother says I went overboard with certain things. But like the elders say, sometimes, you know, you leave something unchecked, you have a lot of bullshit come out of that. That's just the way I grew up, you know what I mean? Like, so Salakia for any offenses to that, you know, like brother said, you got certain brothers that literally, all brothers grew up in Babylon different ways. You got a brother that do some shit that you like, what the fuck? You wouldn't do to your enemy, but because they never had that guidance and nobody show them, they don't think nothing of it. And the Lord truly makes you stand and tests you on these scriptures. And that's just showing you again how destroyed people we are and you know, how rebellious the house of Israel is. Scriptures say every man that said Lord, Lord, doesn't mean pretty much that the Lord gonna save you. You're gonna say away from me. You know, roughly paraphrase. But then, like I said again, that Jake literally ain't gonna come to the Lord, you know. You know, I mean, who's to say? Because, like I say, I can't definitely say, but just through the spirit, reading certain things, you couldn't even stick with the job for, like, you came to this job, and then every kind of excuse came up with why. And I think this is like the easiest job I've ever fucking had. This was like the Lord really blessing me. You know what I mean? Like, at first I thought I got punished for losing that other job, and I hated that job. You know, you had two people literally doing majority of the building work, and they watching you. Like, motherfucker watching you before they help you. I was like, this shit retarded. But then, like I said, this one is like, I got to deal with the Edomites, but maybe that's the Lord putting that spirit on me to have to deal with that shit. You know, you're not always going to have your way. If anything, we as believers going to have it a lot more uncomfortable. But saying all that to say this, you know, and I was listening to the brothers, you know, because you had the elder Mawatazak do a beautiful video about 2/3 of our people pretty much reject the Lord, mocked it. And you had a lot of brothers speaking on it, elders down to brothers. And, you know, only person that mocked it lately was that one Jake the banker, you know what I mean? Because he thought he was on some kind of level, you know. And the Lord, you know, the scriptures talk about, you know, the Lord is not mocked, you know. Every idle word should be accounted for, roughly paraphrased. So that's between that Jake and the Lord. And I made sure to give him the name. You Mark, goofy head nigga. But, you know, the Jake that I was working with, he, you know, he didn't scoff at anything, you know. But, you know, again, you'll be surprised how Jake can have more hate for his brother than he can have for Esau or the other nations. And that always surprised and shocked me. And then, like I said, that video with the 2/3, because at first, you know, like, again, I've been in the Cleveland camp for a number of years before I left, and I was always wondering when we gonna get, you know, Northern Kingdom brother. Now we got Northern Kingdom brothers because you got Gadites and whatnot. But I'm, you know, I'm thinking about Ephraimite or Issacharite. You know, it was a saying we used to believe that the one brother. One of the heads was an Issacharite. Yeah, no problem. Say, yeah, I might be. You know what I mean? Like, it was funny. But, you know, I'm talking about, like, really, like, you know, like, Northern Kingdom, no mistaken type shit. Like, I'm expecting, you know, I was always wondering when or if. And so when I saw Jake, and he, like I said, just he hit me out the blue, like, you know, you tell me something about the Bible. And I'm like, damn, what the Lord doing? So I give him this information and pretty much what I got out of him just leaving the job, you know. But he did tell me he had other jobs lined up, and I still got Jake's number. But like the elders was doing the videos about don't be unequally yoked with unbelievers. And like I said, I wasn't fucking with too many people in the world when I was in the truth. Ezekiel chapter 12, I'm going to start at verse 1, and it reads, Call Loyim La Yahweh Shem Yahshai, Call Loyim La Yahweh Shem Yahshai, Call Loyim La Yahweh Shem Yahshai. This is Ezekiel chapter 12, verse 1. The word of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshai also came unto me, saying, Son of man, thou dwellest in the midst of a rebellious house, which have eyes to see and see not. They have ears to hear. They have ears to hear and hear not, for they are a rebellious house. And we can attest to that because we are on the highways and hedges week in and week out, bringing out this truth. And, Jake have seen it. It'll be times, that's why the little small victories mean so much, because you'll deal with so many people that be naysayers or reject it or try to mock the truth, which I don't get offended at anymore, because I know the Lord gonna fuck that individual up. Like, you got too many testimonies of judgment. An individual scoffed at the camp. Next thing you know, this motherfucker get hit by a car or something happened to him, and they go to, you know what I mean? Like, the Lord is not playing with individuals, and the judgments are happening quicker. Like what that nigga name? Mike Epps said. He said, the Lord will always pay me back quick when I do some bullshit. He said, I steal something and then lock my keys in the car. So, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, that's the Lord doing that for a reason, though. I can attest to something similar, not realizing that the Lord always has something different for me. But I also understand that the Lord wanted me to see certain different aspects. You're raised in the family that you're raised in for a reason. That's not by happenstance or coincidence. Now, these children are ours, we just pretty much watching over them until the Lord do what he gonna do, I remember the brother, the head of Cleveland, had told me that before he was the head, because I was, young in the faith. I hadn't crossed over, they trying to get a feel for me. And, I had kept on like doing a lot of carnal shit, trying to hold on to my family, because I'm thinking in my mind, why can't I have the truth and my family? But that's not the case. The Lord can do whatever the fuck he want. And like I said, again, when the Lord tend to take away stuff, it's usually for the best. It's usually a reason for that. I could be having a judgment based on what I did. Like I said, you don't know, like that's why I'm trying to do certain things now. I'm calling myself, I've always been a type of person. I've been in chess and I played little, so I'm thinking I'm 2 and 3 steps ahead. You can't outthink this shit that's coming. You could try to prepare in the best way. And the main way is spiritually. Because these 2/3 gonna be fucked up with what's about to go down. And we constantly telling them and showing them, but they can't see it. And they refuse to listen. They make stiff the neck, They shrug the shoulder. Verse 3, therefore thou son of man, prepare thee stuff for removing, and remove by day in their sight, and thou shalt remove from thy place to another place in their sight. It may be very well, it may be they will consider, though they be a rebellious house. And that's why Ezekiel was made to do certain things, because, the prophets prophesied, meaning before. Facade meaning to say, we say things before. So not only did you say things, but you had prophets actually do things before, like when Ezekiel had to eat the defiled bread, or when he had to lay on his side, or when his wife died and he was told not to mourn. And it's a difference if the Lord telling you, and then you just like, I remember something that taking place. You're like, well, the Lord said, I'm saying, we tend to. I'm not even gonna go into details. Just like I said again, we're gonna be held accountable for our actions in this truth, and I'm seeing it more so. Like the Lord's really gonna make us stand on you. If you call this man a brother, but the elders and the brothers say this. The elder brothers say this for a reason. Every brother ain't a brother. So a brother was just telling me about how when we came into the truth, we all labeled each other brothers and all that. You really believe everybody that's if we sit up here saying there's agents and camps and whatnot, every man doesn't even, like I said, it's for certain things I have experienced. You get what I'm saying? And I can't say that person doesn't believe. Again, that's how fucked up as a people we are. But, it's going to be very dramatic before the end of this thing. Just believe that. Like the elder always brings out, it's going to be a major shakeup. Because it's one thing to say, that's just like when in war, a motherfucker go to boot camp 8 weeks, or, you have had, like, I remember when I was going to go to the service when I was in high school, and I'm like, like that was an option, but then we got, I mean, like, that's when I really got like thinking I'm gonna be somebody in the street, you know, so that option was fuck that option, you know what I mean? Because most people go to the service, Jake, out of desperation. But Jake ain't trying to really like, unless you just really like one of them type of motherfuckers that want to just hurt shit, you know, kill shit, you into guns or some shit like that. But most Jake do that shit to better themselves, to get, you know, benefits, and then, you know, like you got Jake that, like I remember my sister and them sold their house to a Jake. He ended up like retiring from the military at like I think he went in at 18. He retired like when he was like 45. So he could basically have another whole career. I mean, this dude was doing good, you know, but that shit ain't like that now. You get what I'm saying? You know. So I was going into the point of, you know, like I say again, the Lord would have certain prophets do certain things, like when he had Isaiah walking around asshole naked. Because pretty much that was one of the things, you know, he was going to strip Israel bare. You know, this was the things that the Lord is going to bring. They were symbolic. The point of it being a rebellious house. You know, this is the book of Matthew chapter 16 and verse 1. The Pharisees also with the Sadducees came and tempting desired him that he would show them a sign from heaven. Now, if you're familiar with the scriptures, we know anything red lettered is usually in the red letter Bible is the words of our big brother, our Lord and Savior, Yahushua Mashiach, who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ. It says, he answered and said unto them, when it is evening, ye say, it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning it will be foul weather. Today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky, but ye cannot discern the signs of the times. And that going back into that Ezekiel, you know, they got eyes to see, but cannot see, and ears to hear, but cannot hear, you know, because they spiritually undiscern, you know. The Lord literally just called it out, like, oh, you can see this, but you can't see what's really going on. And that's 2/3 of our people right now to this day. Because if they really understood and seen, they would literally put more energy, like a brother had made a statement. He said, shit, if somebody was telling me these particular things is about to take place, you know, I would be more attentive. You get what I'm saying? But it's also spiritual, you know what I mean? Like, Satan ain't trying to give up none of these motherfuckers. That's why it's such a powerful work what the Lord did when pretty much he, you know, awakened them dry bones. You know, do you understand how powerful a work this is? You know, even Charleston White bitch ass, which I don't like that nigga. You know what I mean? Because I can see the setup on him. Not to make this about that, but, you know, this nigga showing guns, but then it come to find out this nigga literally can't see. So what the fuck you promoting guns for? You know, you sitting up there, you coming across like with this message of, you know, you all about your people and the you know, these hip hop rappers and whatnot is destroying our people. Well, what's up with the you sit up there and pretty much label King Von a demon, but this nigga Woody, who's I've never seen, is this how he's showing you that they literally setting up some bullshit? Like this Woody shit with this YSL trial shit is like a psyop. Cause they promoting being a snitch. First they did it with 6ix9ine. This man is literally making money from doing this shit. They got it on camera where the detectives give him money, a stack. Can't make this shit up. And then you got Charles and White literally saying, oh yeah, well shit, he know if you could fight and all that, you could be a snitch and come back to the hood. Ain't nobody saying nothing to him. I'm looking at this shit like, wow. And then he pretty much got immunity. He told them something, but whatever he told them is not gonna be used in court. Showing you how all these loopholes in this law system is. And then he's sitting up there lightweight playing with the case. Man, I mean, like literally, they are really just distracting shit. Like with this whole presidential race, with this YSL Woody shit. Man, these motherfuckers, the Satan go creep up at the door and catch a lot of these niggas blindsided for those of our people that can't see. This is the book of Matthew chapter 16 and verse 4. A wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall no sign be given unto it but the sign of the prophet Jonas. And he left them and departed. And what sign was the sign of the prophet Jonas? The sign was, you know, the men that have been basically ordained to come out and preach on the highways and hedges to bring out this word. Just like Jonas went and basically prophesied to Nineveh, that's your sign. You know, and this is an adulterous generation, you know what I mean? Especially 2/3 of our people. Because our people get off on that shit. Even Woody said that shit. That's the spirit. He said, I like to fuck with girls that fuck with my, and you know, the crazy part is, I'm not even looking for this shit. It's just like, I think I watched one day when he first was with Charleston White, and since then, it's like everything in his shit come up. How the fuck you on trial, but you on all these shows? Get the fuck out of here. Like, nigga, he said he don't like to, he said he like to fuck with girls that fuck with his homeboys. So when his homeboys talk shit, he can spit in the bitch mouth. So our people get off on literally committing adultery. And that's why, and adultery is a sin unto death. That's why the Lord gonna destroy 2/3 of the nation of Israel. It's the book of Zechariah, chapter 13 and verse 8, the point. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die. All the land of Israel, you know, and the land, or Israel is a people before it's a place. We don't have a homeland right now, you know. The scriptures talk about a bastard dwelling in Ashdod, which is the fucking Amalekites, you know, the Hebrew Edomites. He says, but the third shall be left therein. So 2/3 of our nation shall be destroyed, while, you know, the 1/3 and the elect will be delivered. And I will bring the third part through the fire. You know, that's Jacob's trouble and all the, you know, coming atrocities and calamities. And we'll refine them as silver is refined, and we'll try them as gold is tried. You know, you got to go through some shit. You got to go through fire. You know, you got to be baptized in that fire. You know, that's how you basically purify gold and silver. These precious metals. And we'll try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. And I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is my power. We're going to say, the Lord is our power. He's going to say, these are my people, you know, the elect, because the elect is going to be the ones in those times calling on the name. You know, 2/3 niggas not going to call him. He going to come up with, you know, some bullshit. You know what I mean? Again, if that dude couldn't even hold fast to that job, like, you know, and again, like I said, he had a number of jobs, you know, set up, so I'm not judging that. Like, for instance, I think through the Spirit, the Lord want me to be at this job. You know, this is the least stressful job I've fucking had. We packaging shit in some boxes, and it's 3 people. So, like I said, long as we don't work, they not tripping on you moving too slow. Yeah, none of that shit. Like I said, like I'm letting the white boy direct it. You're like, yeah, we do. You know, you already know them white boys lazy to eat them, but yet still, you know, I'm letting him. He go, yeah, we gonna do 2 today and 3 today. Yeah, he been there for like 4 going on 5 months doing this easy shit. Yeah, that's a blessing to me. You know, it's too late in the game to be trying to seek $25 an hour. You know what I mean? You got to think about it. We got 2 months until they about to be going to fucking, like, we gonna figure out who the president is. You know how much shit can happen within 2 months? I just literally made this statement. Elon Musk talking about, you know, this Neuralink ready. He talking about the robots ready. And now he a part of Trump's cabinet. Get the fuck out of here. If you can't see that, then yeah, you really, the Lord is not dealing with you. This is the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 9 and verse 1. And it reads, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I've told thee before, we measuring the times by the scriptures. You know, we watch what's going on in the world and line up with what's going on in the scriptures. And, you know, and prophesy. Then shalt thou understand that at the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, which we're seeing, you know, what's going on in the UK, what's going on in fucking the States. Verse 4, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that's made in the world hath the beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. And you go into that word manifest means to suddenly appear, which we're seeing the things that's written in the scriptures appearing. And like the elder said, the beloved elder Apostle Tahar, it's only like one major prophecy we're waiting on. And with that move with Elon Musk and Trump, that, in my mind, I was like, damn, man, Trump talk about motherfucking automatic guillotines. Get the fuck in the car. Get in the car. Signs. You know, do you know what's all prophesied to happen at the end of this place? You know, a forced mandate of being sea-hipped, you know, great violence, Jacob's trouble, you know, and nuclear destruction. Those are great signs and effects and great signs. Verse 7. And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed shall be preserved from the said perils and shall see my salvation in my land. So like verse 7 again. And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith. So, you know, because scriptures talk about faith without works is dead. You know, how can you say you believed if you never did any works? How can you say you loved your brother if you never went out your way for your brother? You know, and I've seen that certain brothers, you know, so brotherly, like I said, literally would give you what they had. You know what I mean? But like the elders say, you know, everybody that you call a brother ain't a brother, and that's gonna be exposed before the end of this thing. I would love to say everybody, you know, truly believe, but like the elders say, the elders know for a fact. They speak matter of factly, like, oh yeah, it's agents within the camp. You know what I mean? Now, you know, you could just, like I said, spiritually, it's gonna be brought to the forefront. But then you also like I believe this, you know, like you have somebody that was in deep cover for a number of years, and they basically take over that role that they playing. They begin to believe it, you know. So what they call that? Like they basically, like with spies, they flip the spy. You got like in certain movies, the spy been in America for so long, they begin to believe in they fucking Americans, they working for the American, they end up working for America. You don't know if a person came into, because I can see that being somebody's life. Because again, the scriptures say, judge not another man's servant. You know what I mean? Like, I used to look at certain things Jay could do, and I'm like, oh, that's awful, this and this and that and that. But then, like, makes you think about Paul. You know, Paul told Ananias, go holler at him. He said, this man, you know what I mean? He said he was killing your disciples and all that. He said, tell him as many things you must suffer for my name's sake. The Lord know his creation better than you know yourself. Verse 8, shall be preserved from the said perils. The elect, because the elect going to have faith and works. The elect going to believe when it's going to be no hope in the world. You know, hope is a hell of a word, you know what I mean? Because hope is synonymous with faith. You know, and like I said, I was just telling somebody, I think I was telling that Jake at the job. I said, but you know, it's spiritual though, because Jake knew certain shit though. You know, I know he didn't know the name. He was like, he just found out he was going into how, you know, Northern Kingdom, Ephraim, which is the name of, you know, the byword of, you know, you Puerto Ricans, but your biblical nationality is the Ephraimites. I believe Jake was an Ephraimite. He was from actual Puerto Rico. He was he learned that pretty much, because Puerto Ricans is like, you know, descendants of Taino Indians, but he was going into pretty much like a mixture of different things. And when he brought up the Tainos, I was like, damn, I knew that. So that's what made me literally, I was like, I've only heard a couple people actually mention Tainos, and I'm talking about amongst, you know, Puerto Ricans. And he was like, yeah, I'm just recently learning a lot of this stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, you know, but he was still of the mindset, you know, racism and all that. And when you get the correct mindset of racism is simply you for your race. You know, I hate Esau because I hate fucking Esau, but I'm not mad at him being a racist no more. You in the proper spirit. You know, my thing is, like I say, like it was funny how the Lord did it, but you know, I'm not even mad at the cracker. Like, I don't speak to them. The motherfuckers be sneezing in that bitch. I don't say God bless you or nothing. Because you ain't blessed by the Most High God. Lord gonna fucking kill you. Says, shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. Then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. And that's 2/3 of our people. Again, all those people that rejected, that video, like the elder, he got such a cool, smooth, laid back spirit. I've never, now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever seen him get mad. I heard about him getting in the fight at camp one time. He had to put hands on somebody, but every video I've seen, he's not easily rattled. I remember when he was fucking with the young Jakes, and it was like 10 of them. And he moved throughout the situation with no problem, no hesitation, no fear. He wasn't timid. That's a confident brother. But he was like, you can't even get mad about it, because like you can't get emotional about the 2/3 because we know that what was prescribed for them. We know they judgment. You know what I mean? And again, rightfully so. Like, what the fuck? Like, fuck you gonna cry for a nigga for? A nigga that don't give a fuck about you or your how about Shemi Al-Shab. Says, then shall they be in pitiful case, because like I said, this place about to be locked down again. Pretty much it's gonna be a shortage of food, hazardous conditions. You got people struggling now. And, all America, all of Babylon the Great is about to be in a pitiful case. Which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away spitefully shall dwell in torments. Like I said again, watching your children suffer, watching your children not be able to eat. For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me. Scriptures talk about the Lord giving us our daily bread. You got a lot of our people that pretty much survive off of Esau's basically welfare system. But who do you think put the spirit on them to literally do that? Where do you get the welfare system from? From the scriptures. Their system is so flawed though, because you have people, that's why it's always welfare fraud. And it don't even be, on the individuals that's receiving it as much as it be on actually the county. The county will be stealing fucking federal funds and all kind of shit. Like, this is facts. I've been to California before. They talking about California so fucked up now, and you can see it. Literally see it. And it's spiritual, because I had just got up out of homelessness when I was able to go to California. So then when I'm seeing it, I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? Homeless people tend to flock to climates that's warmer, but now would you really even flock to California? And then, I think California still gives motherfuckers cash benefits, So my demon was loving that little shit. Then they I think they was giving her a voucher to be able to stay in certain hotels and shit. Like, that bitch was loving that. The only thing that scared her, make her come back with my kids, is because pretty much they start turning off the lights out there. So they was running a simulation or an exercise. Verse 11, and they that have loathed my law while they had yet liberty, because you got the liberty to come back to the law, statutes, commandments. The Most High says that he doesn't want to pretty much lose any Israelite. But like I say, the scriptures also say, if we was to turn to the east and all the Israelites just turn to the east and pray to Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai, he'll come rescue us now. You got too much of a rebellious nature in Israel, And it's just the truth of that, you know what I mean? Like you cannot, what's the word? Rehabilitate a nigga. No, I take that back, because you got brothers that was considered niggas in the world. Me, myself, first and foremost. But at the same time, it's like certain Jake is set up to just literally be destroyed. Certain spirits the Lord loathes. When you had the opportunity, because the only way of salvation is through the Lord. Again, like I said, they showed you that they could put those that's supposed to have money in a lower state as well. And then come to find out, like, all that shit is changing right before your eyes. The way they do movies, you finding out now that a lot of the entertainers ain't living the lofty lives that they make it seem like. This place is a big ass facade. And they that have loathed my law while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them. Right now is the time to repent, call on the Lord, and turn back from your wickedness, and subscribe to the power of Yahweh Shem Yahshua. But because when the doors of mercy close, it ain't gonna be no mercy shown. It says, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it. Our people loathe the Lord. You can see how they like again, that the one I think of the most, because like I said, some of it was funny, but the one I think of the most was the broad basically talking about now I could be acousted by the Hebrew Israelites as well. I finally made it. You know what I mean? Bitch, you gonna make it in one of those FEMA boxes. You know what I'm saying? But then again, she, like more than likely, because a lot of these people is not about to be up with, they gonna look at, like the example is the jump shot. Look how many people ran for that. So just imagine how many, gonna just accept whatever the fuck Esau do. Verse 12, the same must know it after death by pain. So, a lot of the nation of Israel is set up to be destroyed. I was going to bring this out. Isaiah 65 pretty much goes into how rebellious Israel is, But it's a key point in there. It talks about how, the Lord's elect, He going to feed them while He's going to starve, 2/3 of the nation. I'm going to end this with Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3 because it's all about the elect, It's all about Yasharallah. It's all about, well, Salaki, I said that completely wrong, so Salaki, forgive me, Yahweh Shem Yahshai. It's all about Yahweh Shem Yahshai, who you people ignorantly call God in Jesus Christ. Yahweh meaning He exists, by Hashem meaning in the name, Yahweh Shai meaning He saves or He is the deliverer, who you people ignorantly call God in Jesus Christ. It's all about the elect. It's all about Yasharallah, You got the antagonist and you got the protagonist, Yeah. Israel is your antagonist and well, the elect of Israel, because 2/3 is counted as the heathen. The scriptures talk about all Israel is not Israel right now. And they're not going to be Israel until the kingdom, It's the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3 and verse 9. They that put their trust in Him shall understand the truth. And that's what the elect will do. Again, no matter what these devils doing, these devils trying to put band-aids and patches. You got people that really believe that this devil going to be able to fix this shit. This shit, I'll be feeling sorry for my children sometimes because they really, I don't want to, break a spirit. You can break a spirit so easily, But you don't want, like, pride is a hell of a thing as well, too. You get what I'm saying? But, I don't believe in lying to them, I'd rather not tell them certain specific things as opposed to lie to them. But like, there's no future for them. Like, I worry about them. Like, do you understand that we literally, if 10 years from now, I won't know what the fuck they'll be into. Because it's like, I just put them into an actual brick and mortar school. And if I name the name of the school, it's like, when I thought about it, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it anyway. I'm trying to protect and control some shit. You can't control nothing. You know what I mean? I need to like, just by me doing this gives me an hour time to do a video or read or something. Just by putting them in the school. So, I got to do what's beneficial for me. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, without me, they have no opportunity of salvation. They that put their trust in Him shall understand the truth. And that's why I trust the Lord enough that He set this up to do this like this. And such as be faithful in love shall abide with Him. Scriptures talk about precious is the death of one of His saints. And the scriptures tell you who His saints is. The Israelites. For grace and mercy is to His saints, and He hath care for His elect. The Lord care about His elect, because they were created from the beginning of the foundations of the earth. And those are the only ones that's going to have true faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And you're going to need hope and faith with what's coming, because like I said again, they making it a dark, dark city, a cold, cold world. So I'm going to end the lesson with that. I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to called Loyim Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, Hashem, Kodash B'Katam. I want to say double honors to my apostles, the elders of the great millstone who teach and do it well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing his truth with faith and sincerity, as well as risking their lives and freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Akwat that they're listening and learning. Lord, willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, to whom subscribe to this truth. To you, I say shalom. Till next time I'm able to come another lesson. Shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasharallah. Shalom.